Hello everybody, this is Petey from BurgZerg Arcade at BurgZergArcade.net, and here we are back again with another video in our little code along for the item series. I believe this is number 25. It's been a while. I got a little busy with work and then I got sick, so I'm sorry if my voice shakes a little bit in this video as I am still getting over the flu, but I feel good enough, so let's go ahead and actually start a video. So it has been a while since I've gone ahead and looked at this project, so I'm going to do a little bit of a refresher. So let's go ahead. I know we got the weapons working the way we wanted to. So let's go ahead next and work at this bar. Now I just want to put in a state machine that switches according to which one we click on. We know the code that we have in place works for weapons, so I'm just going to go ahead and stick that in the weapons section. And for now, let's just go ahead and display something different in this section. Maybe even just a quick label that says armor, potions, and the about. Because they're all going to be the same. We're going to want this view, well, except for the about. The about will probably not have a list view, just, well, some about stuff. But other than that, they should all look pretty much the same. So let's go ahead, we'll jump in, start looking at some code. So in the on GUI is where we're actually calling the top tab bar. So let's go ahead, we'll go to where it's declared, which is in the iOS object top tab bar script. And here we are right here where it's declared. So we'll go ahead, we create the horizontal, we end the horizontal. We call the weapon tab, which just displays a button. The armor tab displays a button. For some reason, we're not calling a tab. We'll have to fix that just for consistency. But for potions down here and the about. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy the armor one. And just for consistency, I want to have a potions tab. It looks like they're all singular. Oh. Let's actually make the second one potion. And potions. Some I did plural, some I did singular. Again, just for consistency. And of course up here, we're going to go ahead and call the potion tab. That's the first order of business. And looks like everything else is okay. Now we're going to go ahead and put in a state machine somewhere. And logically, since the state machine deals around these buttons, I'd want to put it here, but the actual, the true place where this is being displayed is over here. So here's where we're going to be switching states. Then here, depending on the state we get from here, we're going to change here. And like I said, all of this so far, at least as far as the list view, what's in here, and the item details is going to be displayed just by default for now. We're going to go ahead, we'll stick them in the weapons tab. Later on, I'd like to actually just be able to go into the list view itself. Which again, we'll just go ahead, we'll open this up. Just to take a look at it. Yeah. Right now, on flu medication, I don't really want to deal too much with code we've already written. But I would like to go ahead and just switch this over so it grabs a different database. Just basically pass in a different database and have it go through. Basically modularize this so we don't have to keep writing some of the same code over and over again. But for now, I just want to get that state machine done. Get the brain juices flowing again. Get us back into programming. And just to get something out there for you guys to look at. So we'll start here. I am going to put the state machine logic in here as far as switching goes for the buttons. And to reiterate, we're changing the actual view here. Sounds good. Let's start. So the first thing I want to do is actually create the states themselves. And I'm just going to create them as part of the class up here. I see no need to make them public outside of this class, so I'll leave them private. And the enumeration is going to be called, oh, what do we call it? Let's call it tab state. And of course, I do that right off the start. So let's go ahead. And I guess we'll just start at the top. So we'll go weapon, armor, potion, about. I guess technically it won't matter which order we do them in because we're going to keep the name anyway. And I like to keep my states capitalized. Some people don't. I do. I don't know if it's just some sort of old school thing left over, but I do it that way. Now those are new to creating enumerations. Think of it just as a list of things. Every single one of them gets a comma, except for the last one, and you can't have any spaces between them. If for some reason you wanted a space, just use an underscore or a hyphen. But for our list, we do not need them. So we need a variable for this. Again, I don't think I'll ever need to expose this anywhere. So we'll keep it private. And it's going to be of type tab state. And I'm just going to use the lowercase version. I guess camel case. And I am going to go ahead and set this over here in the on enable. This is where I like to set all of my variables. I'll do it right after this. And we'll set it to tab state. Normally I like to start with about, but since we don't have about done, or if you're really thick into the French Canadian accent, maybe you'll have the about. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and have the default be weapon. And later on when we have about done, I'll go ahead and switch to done. That's usually what I like to have it as. So we'll go ahead, we'll save that off. We're going to come in here. And I want to go ahead and start implementing the actual logic for these buttons. So if this button is pressed, I guess all we're really going to do is switch the state. So we don't even need parentheses. Not parentheses, sorry, braces. Did I mention the flu medication? So we're going to go ahead and say the lowercase or camel case tab state is equal to tab state. And first one will be weapon. And we'll come down. We'll do the exact same thing for armor. Of course, we're going to set it to armor. So if I click on the armor button, we're going to go ahead and say that tab state is equal to tab state armor. And of course, we got to do potions. And of course, you can probably see the pattern here. And I like to leave a space on each side of the equals. And the last one. Of course, if you've got more tabs, you've got more functions here to fill out. And tab state will be equal to tab state about. Oh, not armor. All right, I'm going to save that off, jump back into the main script, the object editor. And I want to go ahead, and before I do any of this, I'm going to go ahead and do a GUI layout. Oops, actually I hit the enter key. Dot. I think it's label. Yeah, label. And I'm just going to go ahead, put a string in there called state. Just so I can make sure this is working. Leave a space. Then of course we'll add on tab state. And this will let me know what state we're actually in. I just want to make sure that all those buttons are working. So we'll come back into Unity, let it recompile, no errors. Start it back up. And the state is weapon. If we click weapon, it stays weapon, armor, potion, about. So great, we're detecting these clicks. So let's go ahead and set up that little, the first level of the state engine so that we can switch around what's displayed. And we've done this before, so hopefully it's not too alien for you, unless you're actually new to the series. And it's a matter where we want to put it. I think every single one of them is going to have a begin and end horizontal. I'm going to go ahead and put it after this state. We're going to get rid of the state in a bit as far as the label. I think it's going to be right in here where I want to put it. So switch, and we're going to switch on the tab state. And we're going to go ahead and make a couple cases. And the first one we're going to go work on will be, well, I'm just going to start with the weapon one because that's the one we have done already. And of course, we want to have a break statement. Make sure you spell it right. That doesn't look right. I thought this was supposed to be tabbed in more, but we'll find out. Let's go ahead and duplicate those two lines, except this time we're going to switch the tab state to armor. Do it again. This time we're going to go to potion. Was it just 4 states? Let me just quickly check. Because the last I want the default one to be about. And of course, that's right here. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. We only have 4. So okay, we got all the 3. Then the very last one will be default. There we go. So we'll go ahead. We'll take this. Since we know this one works with weapons. We'll put it here. For all the rest, I'm actually just going to go ahead and paste this in. And I do want to say default state. Then of course, well, we should actually explicitly say which one they are instead of actually doing that. So I'm just going to go ahead and say armor. Make sure you actually get that extra parentheses in there. Potion. Default state. About, even though about is not the default right now. Okay. We'll jump back into Unity and we'll try this out. No errors. And if this works, and when we come back, we can actually go ahead. Let's not play. And start filling those out. So short sword, what we expect. Of course, we click this. Armor, perfect. We know we just got to put the stuff for the armor in there. Potion, and about. Works exactly like we expected. So we've got an option here for the next video. We can continue on with this little state machine and go ahead and start filling out the other databases. Or I know some people have actually gone ahead and, well, worked ahead. And they're already at the part where they're trying to integrate this into their game. The problem is that some of the editor scripting that uses the Unity editor library, it's not going to compile when you try to actually create your game accessing that library. And we've got to go ahead and refactor that out or find some other way around it. Now, I already know how I want to do it. I purposely put it there just so people could work through it and to show how to get it out of your code if this actually happens to you. And I'm quickly going to pull up an example here. So we'll go ahead and we'll look there. Actually, let's just pull up the scriptable object database. Over here, things like set dirty. We can't actually have lines like that are actually going to run and still work while our game is running. So we've got to be able to basically refactor these things out. There's a few things in here we're going to have to do. So we can either continue on with what we're currently working on, the tab system, the state machine, or go ahead and start working on taking this stuff out. Let me know down below in the comments. And later on this week, I'm going to go ahead and make, well, probably a few more videos, and this is what we're going to be working on next. Anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry if I missed any of the coughing during editing. As I said, I am still getting over the flu, but wanted to get something out for you. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.